You are now listening to Mondays with Mike Martinez.
Hey guys, welcome back to another exciting episode of Mondays with Mike. I'm joined by my good friend and also my director of technology, Richard. Man, I'm gonna let you introduce yourself. Talk to the people about your background. Where'd you grow up? How was that? And what do you do for us?
Yeah, so I grew up in Southern California, actually, and lived here for about 25 years, went to Montclair High School, graduated there, and then found my way out to Florida at the age of 25 because 2009, the housing market was crap here. I couldn't find a job, and I had an opportunity out there to work with a friend who was doing some big things in the web hosting and email business. So I went out there and helped him out for a few years, and we did a couple different ventures. We tried MLM, multi-level marketing. That was an interesting one. We did a lot of bulk sales with it. It wasn't like doing the team building or the pyramid building. It was more wholesaling it. I made a lot of money doing it. It was really fun. But then we had a couple we broke up basically business-wise. And I found my way on Upwork and was looking for a gig to make some money. And it happened to be in the collection space. And so I was on there just poking around like, okay, well, yeah, I could do this job. And it was in reference to an API, fixing an API. And that was my introduction into the industry. And as far as my programming background, I guess I fell into it from graphic design to then web design. And then with web design, I was doing the interface part, the HTML, the JavaScript, the basic stuff. And then from that, I wanted to learn how the back end works. So taught myself how to do PHP, how to do DBA with MySQL and other databases. And then the cloud became a thing. So I learned how to do the cloud.
Is that what you used to develop the software?
Yeah, yeah. So my foundational programming languages are PHP, Node.js. I do a little like JavaScript, HTML, CSS, a lot of frameworks, and then put everything in the cloud so that it's secure, it's backed up, and we don't have to worry about it. I mean, it's fun to have a server and a rack in your office and have everything there, but if the power goes out there and you don't have proper redundancy, power backups, yeah, you're screwed. So let them manage all that stuff, let them have all the hardware costs, and we just lease it from them and we're good to go.
That's what we do, right?
Yeah, that's what we do.
So I want to give a little bit of history on how long you've been with us, how we met, how our relationship has developed, and how much we rely on you right now. It's not good for one person to have so much fucking power.
Hold the keys to the castle.
But he does.
Yeah.
Fucker.
Never fire the IT guy.
Well, it's hard. That'll be hard to replace Richard. All right. So I'm going to back up in 2023. My greatest mentor, Brandon Dawson, advised me that I should really be focusing on technology. And I knew it was a thing coming. I knew AI was coming. I knew technology was going to be either my downfall or my rise.
Yep.
So I was introduced to your old boss, Joey, through one of my clients, who was also a friend, is a friend. So I was introduced to Joey, and Joey had something interesting. He had an agency several years back that was doing $5 million a month.
Yep. Something
that I aspire to do in the near future. So I was impressed by his credentials,
his acumen,
reputation. Yeah. And then I started hearing that he had built a software. So,
we had built a software, yeah.
Yeah. Can you tell me how
the royal we?
Can you tell me how that went?
Yeah, so that job that I was looking for on Upwork was for Joe. He had a API integration to another collection software that he needed help getting sorted out. It was a $500 gig. I did it in 15 minutes. And he's like, I have a laundry list of work. I like you. You're quick to work. We get on well. Do you want a job or do you want to do a piece like work? Like per project. I said, I want a job. I need financial security, right? So yeah, I ended up with him and we worked off of the platform he had built. It was a very simplistic website with API integration. I optimized it as best as I could and got it profitable. And then from there, we started working on trying to customize it, and there were limitations. Like we were being held back from doing the things that we wanted to do, adding features we wanted to add because the software he was using did not have the capabilities to do it. So we're like, okay, well, how are we going to do this? Easiest option is to build your own, right? So we started from the ground up, where it was just a basic data store, where we were importing the debt into the data store, creating a view so that you can view the information on it. And then we started working that with just our small group of people. And then we expanded it out to have user capability, have login security, like opening it up to be more of a system, like a platform.
Real software
rather than just like an administrative backend, right?
Rather than a tool, it was going to be a real software.
Right. Yeah. And so we opened it up to some teams, and they came in, and it just kind of grew from there. We integrated with Twilio was our communications platform. We integrated SMS before 10DLC came and screwed that up for everybody.
I remember that.
We had an inbox interface to where you could have live conversations with them through text. It was really cool. I like that one. It's my favorites, and I'm bummed that we don't get to use it.
Maybe we could relaunch it using AI to conversate with them.
Exactly.
Now that we're at that level of sophistication.
Just waiting on a couple things to come to fruition, and then it'll be there again. And then I started, we had the web phone was integrated too through Twilio. So we weren't using another carrier for our phones. It was all done within the system. And it just kind of like building a Lego set, right? We're brick by brick putting it together the way that we wanted it to be, making changes, making improvements, getting input and feedback from the agents that were using it. What could we do to make it fast and effective for them? And I think at that point was probably where we were when you came into the picture. Still evolving,
How long were you with Joey before I came in?
3 years. I started with him in 2020. So right at the height of COVID, we worked through that.
So I came along towards the end of 2023, right around, I want to say September. That year, I started working pretty heavy with Cardone Ventures. I started learning leadership, operations. I started learning the power of running an optimal. Well, I learned about automation, but I didn't have any.
Yeah.
I didn't really have any automation. The only technology I used that I would leverage to make money, aside from using an outdated dinosaur platform, shout out to Simplicity Collect. Horrible.
Better known as FinV now, sorry.
Yeah, they like no freaking customer support. Like you're on your own.
And that's the same platform that Joe and I were struggling with to customize. And the reason that our platform came to fruition was we could not. It took them 6 months to just add an extra field to the API response for the debtor. Like you want a little tiny bit of additional information, it takes 6 months to get that done. Dude, not possible to grow as a company like that.
Well, an issue that I had, the reason that I had to really consider another option is because we couldn't dedupe. So you guys that are not in collections, you're not going to know what dedupe means. Dedupe means that a client sends us a file, big debt buyer, big debt brokers in the country that buy a bunch of debt direct from banks and whatnot. They send us a file portfolio. And because we were such a big agency already growing, still growing, we would be getting duplicate accounts.
Yeah.
A broker, a debt buyer would send me an account that I already had in my system 2 years ago. So it would get imported twice, and then the collectors are like, we just worked this account like a year ago, 2 years ago.
Because they're just reselling over and over.
Yeah, because they're reselling the debt over and over. So we had already worked it, even though the debt broker had asked us to send the file back, which we did. We shut it down. But it still doesn't change the fact that we just worked it.
Right.
So we needed to build out a deduping process, which Joey did for me.
Yep.
Actually, you did it. And Jeff said he did it. But I ended up coming to the source, which was Joey. Because the fact of the matter is he was the owner of the
company,
platform,
right?
Of the platform. So we started entering negotiations of, his promise was basically his pitch. What got my attention was, I can help you move 10 times faster, right? Because I also had limitations importing debt.
Right.
It would take me like 1 million years to import a file into my software.
And one wrong column and the whole thing gets screwed up.
Just all screw up. So it was, and I know that there's a lot of agencies, local agencies around me. I think even one of my top competitors still uses Simplicity.
Still use it, yeah.
Dude, I mean, if you do $1 million a month, like I don't know how the fuck you're doing that, using that piece of shit.
It's archaic. Software. It really is. It's archaic.
So anyways, what we ended up doing is going back and forth on negotiations, and he said, this software can do anything that you can think of.
Yep.
The only limitation is your creativity, right? And I'm like, dude, I got a lot of that. Well, actually, I don't. I'm not that creative, but when it comes to
got a lot of good ideas.
When it comes to making money, I want it so much that God blesses me with those good ideas. So what we did is we entered negotiations, and I ended up buying the software for around $200,000, right? But part of the deal was
Me.
I'd get Richard, right? So I had to match your salary.
Yep.
Did I match it or
No, you matched it.
I matched it.
to start. Yep, with a sizable increase based on performance for the future,
Yes.
which was very appealing to me because, to be fair, my entire time with Joe, I think I had only ever gone up his 3 years. I had gone up $5 an hour in that time, which in the development world in IT, that's not a lot, right? So like people might hear $5 and think, oh, that's great. I would love to get a $5 raise, right? But in relation to the industry and the work that I was doing, I was severely underpaid. So
yeah, I mean, so my objective was to have you join our executive team.
Yep.
My objective was I needed a very gifted, intelligent developer who can pretty much do anything that I can think of.
that was the part that can do anything was me.
And I knew that.
Yeah.
And I knew that, by the way. So when Joey sold me the dream of the software, kind of being like a out of the box, you can customize it however you want, I knew that it was going to take a lot of work, and I knew I needed somebody like you on my team.
Yeah.
So when I made the purchase, I wasn't purchasing to be all truthfully, I wasn't purchasing the software. I was making the deal with him so that you would join my team, right?
Yeah.
I was like buying you, Richard.
I was for sale, to be honest, and I'm happy that you did. So it worked out for the best.
So all of my executives have an executive bonus that they all make conglomerately as a team, collectively, if they hit a company target.
Yep.
So that's where you were going to join and contribute to their success and vice versa. They were going to teach you more about the business. So right now you're hovering around $80K a year salary.
Yep.
And then you're making what, about $40,000 a year in bonuses?
Or more, yeah. I think just a hair under 150 at a current rate.
Okay.
So,
I mean, I want you to smash 200K this year.
That's the goal.
Right. What were you averaging with Joe?
With Joe, I think he started me at $25 an hour. And I made it incrementally up to about 30 was the most.
Okay.
So I don't know. I can't remember what that equates to a yearly salary, but it was, again, at the time,
It's like 70K.
Yeah, a little bit less. Yeah. So
your income has doubled since joining me.
Yeah. And the potential upside is so much higher here, right? Because if we are able to hit our metrics, if we're able to hit our goals, the bonus structure is fantastic. Like, there's
just throw money at you.
Like, here you go, Rich. Right?
I make it rain as long as you hit targets. As long as you hit targets, everybody knows.
If you pull your weight around here, you get rewarded, and that's my favorite thing about it. There was no option with that previously, and nothing against Joe, and it was the time, right? It was COVID. It was tough going for some of the time we were there. So I'm nothing against him in that fashion, but there was no growth potential there. I didn't see myself staying there for 20 years like I do here.
Yeah, I don't ever like to throw shade on anyone, but I have to be honest. Like, I'm grateful for Joey that he introduced us. He sold me the software. I took a couple pointers from him because he was the CEO of a $5 million a month agency. Yeah. Later on, I found out that he had a team around him, a great team that was helping him with that kind of revenue numbers. He wasn't doing it alone, but we also ended up on bad terms because we had an agreement and he violated that agreement.
Business is business.
I won't go into details, but I am grateful that he opened that door to both of us because he was the door.
Yeah.
He was a door for us to meet. And what I'd like to do, Richard, is I'd like you to start building a team around you that if we got to find them the way he found you, maybe giving them some work and testing them out.
Yeah, for sure.
Testing a couple different people and then recruiting them to join the team under you to build a strong tech department where we can keep innovating.
Yeah.
And we can keep leveraging, AI and all these other things to make money, monetize it.
Yeah, automate everything, right? We have a lot of big plans. I have a lot of work to do, but that having a couple people under would be obviously just replicate, right? Find something that works, replicate it, and then profit. So
we're super impressed. We do about $500,000 a month through our technology efforts in gross revenue. Richard is responsible. I like to take a little bit of credit because I'm pushing all the time, and I'm like
You're the driving force behind it.
I'm a driver, so that's
Yeah.
my personality. I'm a driver. So I'm always pushing you to innovate and, you know, trying to come up with ideas and give you resources however I can.
Yep.
But we're averaging about 500,000. And what's our target in the next few months?
A mil. We're going to get there. A milli.
So
it's going to happen.
Yeah, we have some cool things in the works.
Some new toys.
Some new toys that we're like kids over here. Me and Richard are like kids when it comes to
build a new toy, deploy the toy, watch the toy make a lot of money, and everybody's happy.
Yeah. The only time we get sad or frustrated is when it doesn't work.
Yeah. Or miss calls.
We should talk about that too, how sometimes we tried things in the past because it wasn't all sunshines and rainbows.
No. So one of the things that we had, we were doing voice broadcasts, and the big downfall in that is that you can try to customize it as much as you want, but there's an element of roboticness to it. So the way we had it set up was it would play a recorded audio and then insert a TTS or text-to-speech neural voice through Google or Amazon Poly of their name, and then it would continue playing the audio. So it was like, hi, we're looking for John Doe, and it would be in like a high-pitched robotic voice or whatever, and then it would continue on with a pre-recorded message. Now, where we found the greatest success, I personally think, is the personalization capability we have with our vendors and our tools to have a full message customized, say whatever we want, all in one consistent sounding voice that's not robotic, that's personalized, and it sounds conversational. It's perfect.
And even though we have technology vendors that assist, we're still managing and deploying everything in-house that we're controlling.
Hundreds of thousands of contacts.
Yeah, and that's where Richard comes in. You know, we're building all those tools and all those platforms and what do you call them? Interface?
Basically interfacing. So we're taking the CRM, our ARC, and adding tools through the vendors in the system, so you can everything's integrated in one spot, right? So anybody can go in and click a button and start a small campaign to a group and have it run for X amount of days. The workflows based on certain variables or certain credentials that they want to drill down to, like in the state of Florida and the state of Nevada and the state of wherever we're contacting at the time. And just having those integrations all in one interface, like I said, the inbox previous with Twilio on the SMS, instead of having your collector go to a separate site to have a conversation there, they have it all in one spot. So bringing those vendors' capabilities and integrating them into our platform, it's like omni-channel, right? Just makes everything in one spot, makes it easier.
Yeah. This show right now with Richard might be a little too sophisticated for a lot of people out there. I'm just being honest, right? Like most people are not at this level. I mean, we're running as it stands right now, we're projecting to do $26 million. That's just our big agency. We have another agency
the baby
that I'm pushing to do $2 million.
Yep.
And all in all, we'll probably end up at about $30 million. Just being realistic with both agencies. So that level of sophistication, guys, is going to be advanced, at least to a certain point. So this conversation might be too much for a lot of people. But if I dumb it down to a business that is barely going to do their first million or is chasing 3 million, if I'm going to dumb it down, automation. Okay. Richard said right now something very powerful that everybody probably missed. He says, automate everything. It's not just about automating everything, though. It's about choosing what to focus on automating and prioritizing.
Well, you have to look at the data.
You have to look at the data. The way I prioritize is I look at what's going to drive the most revenue into the business, what's going to make us the most amount of money for our attention and our investment of time. Forget about the money that we invest. We also invest money, but it's more our time, our energy, our focus. And every time we focus on something, it takes away focus from something else. Right. So whatever we focus on first, you hear me talk about priorities all the time, right?
Make sure your priorities are making money.
What's our tech priorities? How do I prioritize? Well, what's going to make us the most money, right? What's going to give us the most bang for our buck? Which is our attention, our focus, our time, and our money. So I don't want people to just think about, like right now, we have reports that we're starting to automate. What's our level of priority for that, Rich?
I'd say mid-tier.
Mid-tier?
Yeah, maybe like 75% of my attention. Like it'll be in the 75th percentile.
Exactly. What do you think is one of our lowest priorities when it comes to automation or technology right now?
Having the client information PDF download, probably. That's probably pretty low because while it is a client relation improvement, it's not driving revenue.
It's just a
tool to
impressing
give
the
data.
client.
Yeah.
It's just impressing the client and showing the client, excuse my language, that we ain't fucking around. We know what we're doing and we're sophisticated.
Yeah.
It's proving it to the client that we know what we're doing and we're sophisticated. It's a strong relationship builder. It's impressing the client.
Customer service.
A high level priority is things like what?
SMS.
Yes. So short code, if you have a business, it's expensive, especially for collections. It was hard to get approved, but we finally did it.
T-Mobile was the final boss.
Yeah,
Took us a while, but we got through to them.
Short code is SMS blasting, where the carriers won't flag us, they won't stop us. There's no limits on our on how many text messages we can send.
Yeah.
It's going to be a game changer. SMS is, and this is why, if you're in business, this is why you always have to be polishing yourself and learning about just business statistics, right? So I don't even know how I know this, but I know this. I've heard it or read it somewhere. Okay, text messaging is the #1 communication in the world.
Yep.
Why wouldn't a collection agency prioritize that?
As their outreach, yep.
As their
100%.
outreach, that's going to generate revenue.
Yep.
Right?
It's going to make the phones ring, and it's going to generate the revenue like crazy. So it used to be, sending a letter. Then it was sending an email. Then, obviously phone calls were always in there, but especially when cell phones became popular, it was a lot more because everybody always had their phone on them.
Yep.
But then with SMS, remember when it used to have like your rollover SMS where you only were allotted a certain amount? Now everybody has unlimited SMS. So we just send out and say, hey, we need to talk to you. Give us a call.
So here's a perfect example, and we were talking about this in our executive meeting earlier, right? Here's a perfect example. Take me as an example. My phone does not ring. I haven't changed my number in 15 years. My phone doesn't stop ringing, okay? During business hours, I have it on silent. I don't answer my phone,
right?
Especially during business hours. Even after, if I don't recognize the number, like my time is valuable, I don't just answer a random number.
Yeah.
That's me. I just don't, okay? So I don't answer my phone. My voicemails get lit up so hard, I don't even check my voicemails.
This inbox is full.
If it's important, they'll text me.
Yeah.
That's one thing I do check.
And I hear people say that all the time. If it's important, they'll text. It used to be if it's important, they'll call back. Now, if it's important, then they could text me about it.
And then my emails, my assistant checks them, and she prioritizes in buckets what requires my attention. Since I've had my assistants managing my emails in the past year, because that's when I started having an assistant manage it, in the past year, I haven't seen one piece of advertisement in my emails.
Yeah, no more spam.
Spam doesn't get to me.
No more spam.
Right? Reports go into a reports bucket. If I ever want to see them, I'll go look for them. But I do have an urgent one.
Yeah.
And those are the only emails that I check. So using me as an example, like if I owe money and somebody calls me, I'm going to pay it. I'll
Right.
pay 10 grand if I owe it.
Right.
Because I have the money.
Because you don't have debts.
Well, yeah, I don't have debt. but if I did and a collector tried to get a hold of me, they wouldn't be able to get through me through phone calls.
No.
Because I wouldn't answer.
An email would end up in a spam bucket or a not important bucket.
Voicemail wouldn't work. If my assistant's good, which she is, she would probably put under urgent.
Yeah.
So, but when am I going to get to it? Whenever I have
It's not your highest priority.
It's not my priority. I'll check my emails. If I'm traveling, I don't even see my email all week. So I know something's important when my assistant texts me.
Yeah.
Because she's seen it in my email.
Right.
Hey, your attorney's trying to get a hold of you. Let me call him.
Yep.
Right? Or he'll call me. But text message and my Instagram DMs, damn.
Those are your high priorities.
That'd be badass.
And text message, not only that, it's also coming from a short code. So, like a 4-digit, 5-digit code, the same way you get it from your bank, from your insurance company when your payment goes through, your car company, et cetera. It's coming
Short
from an
code.
official business.
Can you explain what short code is to these guys?
It's just basically, it was, as far as I understand it, was intentionally created for a way for businesses specifically, like companies, organizations that have official business with you, to be able to communicate with you, segregated or separated from your normal communication with your family and your friends. It's not on a regular 555-111-2222 number. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 4 or 5 digits max. There's a higher outbound capability. I think we're like 10,000 messages a minute. On the upper end.
Mm-hmm.
You do have to get approved for it. It's a process. You can't just be any Joe off the street to get one. And like you said, it's not cheap. but it does allow you a more direct connection to the consumer, because like you were showing earlier in your phone, it doesn't show up green on the iPhone, but it does show up a different color to differentiate itself from that.
Yes.
And on Android, I know that you can prioritize your short code messages for getting like 2FA notifications or information from your bank.
How long have I been bugging you to get our short code SMS campaigns launched?
At least a year. Probably almost the whole time I've been here, but it was kind of like, yes, we're going to get a short code. We just got to find the right person and work with the right company, the right vendor. Yeah.
Partnership.
And then we did. And unfortunately for debt collection agencies, it's very hard to get into these clicks where you can send outbound campaigns. We had to go through the short code registry. We had to get all of our messages approved. There's certain templates you can use. You have to have certain, you have to have a stop global blacklist, and then you have to have your help response to come back. It's involved, right? Like before, it used to be you go on Twilio and you buy a new 909 phone number, and you could text everybody that you wanted to, as long as as many messages as you wanted. But they cut all that out with 10DLC. They set up the registries and basically put a chokehold on it. And as a whole, debt collections is one of the forbidden categories, they call it.
We don't sugarcoat anything here.
No.
We're fucking brutally honest. It's not easy to build what we've built. It's not easy. It takes a lot of time. It takes work.
And working with the right people.
Working with the right people. Having resources, like, that's why I've learned from Grant Cardone and Brandon Dawson, like, that's why you gotta build something so big so that you have resources to keep growing it, so that more people in the company can win with you. Because it's not fun being the only one that has money.
No.
Let's wrap up with our future. We have another cool tool that we also prioritized, which is like automated workflows. A lot of businesses already have that. We have it to some degree, but we're still doing a lot of manual campaigns, which I want to take the workload off of my executives and my managers, so that we can just turn it on all automatically, where there's a whole automated collection process. And I think there's some big agencies out there right now that are still not even doing this.
Yeah, and I think the benefit here is that we're coming up with a standardized format, right? So we have a set schedule, we have it set for the right stats, we have it set for the right debt, and it's not going to change for now, unless we need it to, right? We'll test it for a
we
few
monitor.
months.
We monitor and we measure.
Check the data.
And then we make adjustments and we improve as needed. So the last thing I want to talk about, Rich, is our future, because there's not too many people in the organization from 150 employees. There's not too many people that I see potential for partnership.
Yeah.
So I want to be very public about this. There's very few people that, in general, in the whole world, that I consider for partnership, right? You're one of those people that are really working your way to, like, me considering you to bring you in as a minority partner in our software company, even in the agencies, because of your contribution, right?
Yeah. Gotta level up.
What's that?
Gotta level up.
Yeah, well, I want to be vocal about it, because it's important that people understand, like, how a CEO, how you can get his attention, right?
Right.
And that's how you're getting my attention, where, the saying, right? You want to get a raise or promotion, what do you got to do?
Impress you.
You got to impress me.
Yep.
And it's the sad fact is that there's not a lot of people that can impress me. Like, there's honestly not.
I think there's a lot of people that are, they find contentment. Like, they're just happy where they're at. Like, there are people that get to a level and that's where they're at. They don't want to strive for more. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? You find your happiness wherever you find your happiness. But I am finding myself in a position, since I've come on with you, where I am striving for more. And I attribute that to you and the way that we do things in this office, and the way you've taught me and taken me under your wing as far as like the trainings go, and your tutelage has helped me to want to strive for more. Because, to be honest, I have been that person where I was content, where I was like, okay, cool, I'm making, $60, $70, $80,000 a year. I'm happy with that. Everything's covered. I don't have a lot of wants. It doesn't take a lot to make me happy. But then at the same time, now that I've been here and I see the potential upside, and I see the vision, and I see the future that I can have working with you, I want that. I want to go get it. It makes me hungry for it.
Well, we were born to create. So if we're not constantly creating at a high level, we're really not
what are we
happy.
doing? Yeah.
We're really not happy. Like
Right.
we were born. I read a lot of books about spiritual books and what is the purpose of life.
Right.
and
What are
all
we
this
here
shit,
for?
Right. And they all say the same message. We were born to create. We were born to build as big as we can.
Yep.
And if we're not, then we're really not fulfilled. Like,
you're not
we're really
living, you're dying, right?
Yeah, you're not. You're not. So I love that, we're aligned in our visions and you see the bigger picture and you believe in me and what we can accomplish together.
100%, yeah.
So just to kind of give people a sneak peek as to some of the things that I'm working on, I'm starting to connect with other debt collection agency owners who are interested in using our software
Yep.
and leveraging us for their innovations and their technology, and using me and leveraging me and my experience and 10X and my mentors
As a coach.
and my resources to coach them and to leverage me to learn how to operate their businesses, their collection agencies at a bigger, higher level. I'm also considering in the next 12 months to 24 months, but I obviously need your help. That's why we need to build a strong tech team.
Yeah.
Where our software is going to be the engine, and I'm going to be offering some sort of minority partnerships for people that want to start their own collection agency branch, where I would give them all the tools, all the resources, all the processes, all the procedures, all the training, and I would be the mentor to ensure their success. Right. So
Just knowledge dump everything you have on them, right?
Yeah, just help them set up the whole operation. I like to call it bulletproof.
Yeah.
Like bulletproof their branch or their venture.
Bulletproof for their future, right?
Well, yeah, because they're investing in, let's say that they want to buy a branch for $150,000 to buy into our agency.
Right.
And, we're going to take an equity position in their company. But they get me, they get you, they get our whole executive team.
Get the whole technology stack.
Exactly.
Yep.
And not just that, client relationships. We can get them the debt that they need to collect. I can help them recruit the collectors and train them and all that. So that's going to be coming up in the next year or two. I'm super excited for the future.
Me too, definitely.
And I want to thank you, Richard. We went 12 minutes over our time.
It's all right.
Richard didn't want to be on the show.
Yeah, no. I stubbed my toe, so I wasn't feeling it.
He's a little introverted. But thanks again for your time.
Thank you.
Super proud of you, dude.
Appreciate
Super
that.
excited for our future together. And let's keep fucking crushing it.
Rock and roll.
So guys, if you like what you're hearing, I know this conversation might be a little bit sophisticated. It's more for tech nerds and hardcore entrepreneurs like myself. But make sure you like, subscribe, comment below. I'll see you guys next time, Mondays with Mike. That went longer than I expected.
That's all right, man. It was fun.